Check. 1 2 1 2.
Mic checker. Check.
Your glasses are dark.
It's supposed to be dark because it's sunlight.
Yeah, I know.
I can't see. If I don't have them, are you implying that I take them off?
Just saying it.
Well, we got to hurry up because this phone's going to get heated.
All right.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another edition of Behind Closed Doors
With the Brooks
sisters. So, Cherie, we are sitting out here in the heat, and we got to hurry up because this camera's going to get overheated. But we want to talk to people a little bit about today. Well, before we get started, introduce yourself. Tell people who you are, and let's figure.
I'm the lovely, the magnificent, the amazing.
First of all, you don't have to have so many names in front of your name. Like, can you just say your name?
I'm the lovely, the magnificent, the amazing Cherie A. Brooks Jr.,
Listen.
author, speaker, and relationship coach. And next to me is the amazing.
I don't have all them titles. I'm Glenn P. Brooks Jr. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach, and I'm trying to make sure that this phone don't get overheated. Listen, let's talk really quickly. And today's subject is something I think that a lot of people, especially before you get married, really need to kind of understand. There's 3 things that we're going to kind of drill home to you guys, and hopefully this will help you out.
Right. So we're going to talk about from romance to reality.
From romance to reality. So first of all, this is our reality. It's not necessarily romantic, just because we are in a country that stays hot all year long, and it is hot, trust me. It's not always fun. It's not always romantic, and I think that romance is relative to your station in life, the intention that you put in it.
Right, and so before we get into this, I'm not saying that you don't have romance in marriage.
Yeah.
You will have romance in marriage, but
You should.
You should.
If you
Right.
don't, that might
Right,
be
you
a
should
little bit of a
maintain a
challenge.
level of romance in
Yeah,
your
for sure.
relationship. But we're talking about, so from the beginning, when you first meet each other, the sparks fly. There's that physical attraction.
Yeah.
You're friends. There's a romantic connection that you guys have when you initially get together. Doesn't necessarily have to be physical romance, but there's an attraction.
For sure.
And so that's what we're talking about, that initial attraction, and that's what keeps the relationship going. But unfortunately, what happens is that people will move forward in a relationship based off of that attraction only, and they don't take the time to build a foundation.
So let's talk about that. One of the number one things you need to understand, if you're going to go from romance to reality, or if you want your reality to be romance, you're going to have a solid foundation. I think, Cherie, and you and I, we started out, and it's funny, we're 25 years into the game, and every day we wake up together, we get a chance to live out something we promised all the way back then, and that we would grow old together. And we're not liking the growing old part. I'm just going to say that out loud. But what is really, really cool is that we're still together, and it's like we're thriving. And I honestly think it's because our foundation has always been solid. Like, you and I are solid friends.
Right.
When you get on my last nerve, and I know I get on yours regularly, there's a friendship that is our foundation. And I think a lot of times when relationships begin to escalate, they move so fast. I don't know if a real solid foundation has really ever been built.
Right, and one mistake that I see a lot of times that couples will do, they're dating, they in love, and they will move forward in their relationship. Sorry, the door slammed open.
I'll edit that out later. Yeah. Did y'all hear that? I was like, who the ham sandwiches in our in our place?
Anywho.
Nobody.
So, you start out the relationship, you're in love, and you don't take the time to build a foundation. And so when we're talking about a foundation, yes, having a friendship, developing a true friendship is one level of a foundation, but also allowing yourself to go through various experiences during the dating process, during the courting process, so that you get to see that person's character.
Yeah.
So if you've never had a disagreement, there's never been any conflict when you guys are dating, it's always you're both agreeing with each other all the time.
Yep.
You don't get to see, does that person have the ability to display patience? If you don't go through anything, can they display empathy? There are certain foundational things that you'll never learn about that person if you don't slow down and
Yep.
take the time to get to go through some experiences so that you can build that foundation. And it's building your foundation together, but also finding out what their foundation is.
See, because I think that when you talk about that, Cherie, I think unfortunately our culture really is about speed. It's about get to where I want to be as quick as I need, as quick as I can, and we're going to skip steps. This is one of the areas in relationship. I promise you, you skip steps, there is a price to pay for that.
Right.
I'm gonna say it again. Skip steps if you want to, because you've grown. Know on the front end there is a huge price to pay for that. And I remember that you and I always say we feel like we cheated in the sense that we were both married before. But based on that, we always knew, no, we got to slow down.
Right.
We got to make sure that we get this right because we know what wrong looks like.
Right. And so, like Glenn said, I've been married twice before. I got married the first time when I was 19. There was no foundation.
Right.
I didn't have a foundation as an individual, let alone did we have a foundation when we came together. We met, we fell in love, we was attracted, we was in lust, we was all that. But there was no foundation built as far as even what we wanted our marriage to look like. We never had those type of conversations on what does marriage mean to you. What was our foundational principles, our character when it came
sort of
to
your North Star in a lot of ways.
Right. We never that was never established. It's just I always say that my first two marriages basically were an extension of going together.
Yeah.
It's
like just the next step, next thing you do.
But nobody really looked at, no, we need a solid foundation for this thing to stand through the test of marriage, the things that are going to come as you grow together in a marriage. Yeah,
and which brings me to number 2, and I think that growth sort of dictates the kind of character. Listen to this, guys. Your marriage can't have character without you having character, right? So it is the character that I bring to the table or not that really kind of serves to be part of that foundation. And I think that a lot of times we find ourselves not really allowing time to build that or discover what that character is.
Right, and even when you've taken the time and you've established somewhat of a foundation and you get married, marriage is the ultimate character development.
Oh boy.
It is iron sharpening iron on steroids.
On steroids. All my saved believers that love that scripture in Proverbs, let me explain something to you.
This is where it gets tested.
It does, and because I think a lot of people really believe that marriage is about your happiness.
It's not about you being happy.
Y'all, can I tell you that I think God organized marriage as a sandpaper to human beings.
Sandpaper?
Listen. To rub you guys together so often that you become smooth and then you stick. Ooh. The problem is that most people don't like friction.
Right.
And so they don't stick through that process, thus smoothing down that surface in a way that I think becomes a testament to him, his love, how he can bring two unique individuals together and they can form this union that really is a testament to him.
Right. I think in marriage, your character is going to be tested in ways that it can only be tested in the confines of marriage.
Please say that again.
Because you are living life with this person in a way that in a friendship or even in a dating relationship, when things get rough, when you guys start rubbing against each other, you can walk away.
Yeah.
You can say, I ain't dealing with that.
Facts.
I don't have to conform to
I don't need to put up with this.
I don't have to. But in marriage, you have to learn how to allow yourself to see your reflection from your spouse's eyes, because they see your blind spots, things that you don't see. And also in marriage, you will see things about yourself. You'll discover things about yourself. Oh, I didn't realize I was so selfish.
Listen, before this camera gets overheated, I want to let you guys know that Cherie and I are relationship coaches. If there's anything that we can do to help you, check out the description here on our channel, because we've got all kinds of tools. We've written 9 books together. We have a community, a coaching community. We have all kinds of tools, different processes and things we take couples through that are available to you. Check out the description below. But I want to go to number 3, babe, because I think that at the end of the day, once you get your foundation solid and you start kind of beginning to develop this character in each other, in the relationship, figuring out who you are, the next thing is what?
You have to learn to die to yourself.
Oh, come on now. Now, surely you don't mean that like you just said it.
It's almost physical, actually.
Jesus.
But no, you have to learn how to become selfless.
Listen.
And in marriage, you have to be willing to put your spouse's needs.
Listen, you hear how hard it was for her to say that? Y'all, we have a whole t-shirt that says marriage is for the mature.
Yes.
And when you talk about dying to yourself, think of parenting.
Yes.
For example, parenting, any parent knows, ain't about you.
Right.
Your life pretty much is
about
over until they leave the nest.
Well, it ain't over.
When I say over, as you know it.
Yes.
Let me add
yes.
that.
Yes.
Life as you know it
changes when you have children. Yes.
significantly
It should.
when you have a child.
Yes.
The same is true for marriage. When you get married, life as you knew it will change.
Right, because from that point forward, you have to consider another person.
Absolutely.
In everything that you do, you should be considering that other person. So I can't now be the selfish person that I'm going to do what I want to do.
Just because I want to do it, because
I
I'm
wanna do
grown
it.
and I got my
Because-
own money
right.
and don't nobody tell me what to do and I can listen.
You have to consider another person. And so learning to die to yourself is being willing to be able to say, okay, although I could do this,
Yeah.
let me consider this other person.
Listen, and it can boil down as simple as this, and this is my problem. I'm talking about me, y'all, so don't get offended. I had a problem when it came to thinking about other people before I thought about myself. No, yes. Pull up to the gas station, get out the car, put the gas tank, the hose in the gas tank, put that joint on, fill it up. Walk into the grocery store, walk into the little convenience store, get me water, some chips, maybe some Gatorade, some chips, some cashew, you name it. Come out the joint. Gas is finished pumping. Get back in the car. I got my chips, I'm snacking. Meanwhile, my wife, our kids, whatever, is in the car. And I'm looking at them like, y'all ready to go? And they looking at me like, bruh, like,
You ain't bring us nothing.
you ain't bring us nothing.
You ain't think
you didn't,
maybe we might.
perhaps you could even ask. Now, I know that sounds trivial, but y'all, that's how trivial it gets. Marriage is what tested that in me and caused me to say, I can't think about myself. Now, I know this sounds elementary, but we don't do this.
Right.
Cherie, we don't do this. And I call it petty Eddie or petty Betty. Y'all, we some petty people. And the problem is that is not a place for marriage. Pettiness, listen to me carefully, will kill a marriage quicker than just about anything.
Right. So marriage is for the mature. You have to have a level of maturity before you say I do, but also understand that once you get married, you're going to continue to mature because you're going to grow, you're going to evolve. It's going to be a testing ground that's going to help to develop your character even better. You may say I got good character now. It's gonna get tested.
Ooh.
You're gonna become a better person, or you're gonna become a worse person.
Listen.
In the confines of marriage, prayerfully, you're gonna become a better person because you're gonna embrace that friction. You're gonna embrace someone else peering into things about you that you didn't recognize, and you're gonna embrace that, and you're gonna want to make those adjustments. Hopefully, if you were a selfish person, you are now willing to relinquish that and be more selfless.
Yeah.
Like Glenn said, when you have children, we have to become selfless, but the same thing applies in marriage and
100%.
being able to consider
100%.
another person. It takes maturity to do that.
Listen, guys, we're going to jip and we're going to come back next week, pick up a whole nother subject. If this is helping you on any level, please do me a favor, interact and engage with us in the chat. If there's something that we can help you with, check out the description below. Click the link, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back again next week with Behind Closed Doors. Every Thursday, right around 12 noon Eastern, we are dropping a new episode or we're broadcasting live. Share this with somebody. At the end of the day, y'all, you can't get to any place of significance by yourself because we all
need
some
help.
Help! I need somebody help, not just anybody. Y'all be good. We'll catch up with you next time.
Bye, guys.